There's the Gemara. Okay? Yiftach Hashem. What does it mean, Yiftach Hashem? Velo Shaliach. Hashem should open up the gates and not a Shaliach, not a messenger. Beta mubet. Now beta mubet. Now turn the page. Yeah, beta mubet. Ki ani Hashem. I am Hashem. What are we talking about when Hashem is going to do Tchiyat HaMetim? Ki ani Hashem, because I am Hashem, velo Shaliach, and not Shaliach. Poteach et yadecha. We're talking about now Parnasa. And what does it say? Poteach et yadecha, velo Shaliach, and not a Shaliach. Okay, fine. So the Gemara there asked. One second. Now, but I'm. You have to remember the Rashi is explaining the Gemara. So therefore, right, the Gemara asks, why doesn't Rabbi Yochanan come and he mention Parnasa? So he answers to you the what? Geshamim is Parnasa. Right? Geshamim is Parnasa. So it says, Rashi, Geshamim nami hainu Parnasa, ukvar chashavna le. What does that mean? We already mentioned it. So the fact that we already came and we mentioned it, that's why we don't have to mention it again. I mean, according to Rabbi Yochanan, you don't have 4, you have 3. Right? Why? Because you already mentioned it. You already mentioned that Parnasa was already Geshamim. Geshamim is Parnasa, Selamim Shos. It's the same. Okay? Next. Then we brought the machloke between Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yoshua. Rabbi Eliezer learns it from the Lulav. Rabbi Yoshua learns it also from the Lulav. But Rabbi Eliezer learns it from Mishat Netilat Lulav, when you pick up the Lulav. And Rabbi Yoshua learns it from the Mishat Nachato, when you put it down. Says the Rashi, Milulav Gamala, he learns it from the Lulav, Shedome lelulav, because it is compared to the Lulav. Dome is compared. La Lulav, to the Lulav. Shekeshem, because just like, She'e efshar, that it is impossible. Le'elu, to these, Arba'a minim, these 4 species, Belau geshamim, without rain, Uba'in, and they come, Ba is to come, Bet Aleph. Uba'in leratzot alamayim, to give goodwill. I don't know if you have a better term for that. It's being leratzot, to wanting on the water. Kede amrinan, just like we say in Sukkah. Okay, just like we say in Sukkah. Taf lamed zayin ubet. Kach iefshar leolam belo mayim. So too it is impossible for the world without water. So therefore, Rashi is explaining to you, what is the concept of lulav? Why is lulav? What's the connection between lulav and the nisuch hamayim in the water? He says, no, because we needed it. Because if it wasn't for the lulav, the lulav is coming for water. So therefore, that's why we're all connecting everything to water.
Yeah. Nothing can live without water anyway.
Exactly. That's what we're saying. Now the Gemara is going to ask as follows. Right? Ma lulav bayom. So sorry, not it doesn't ask. The Gemara said, so just like the lulav is going to be during the day, because if you already learned it for the lulav, so just like it's going to be during the day, so too it's going to be during the day. Ma lulav bayom, shematchilin litol bayom rishon, that you're going to start taking it on the first day. Litol is netilat lulav, to take the lulav. Yeah, litol bayom rishon on the first day. Af askaranami, so too the mentioning of it also is going to be during the day. You're not going to mention it on the first night until the next day. Meaning, again, Rashi is coming to exclude la'puke, that don't tell me that you're going to do it me'orta, from nighttime, because that was the next shita, if you remember. We're not doing it at nighttime. We're doing it during the daytime. Okay? Next, manisuch hamayim me'orta, 1 second. Manisuch hamayim is done at nighttime. Right, what does that mean? Just like it's found. Shchiach is common. Ashkechan is to find, when you find something. So kedashkechan, just like we find the Masechet Sukkah, shememalein hakeli mayim, that we're going to fill. Maleh is to fill, right? Full. Shemalein, we're going to fill the keli, the utensil, mayim, lenisucha mayim, balayla, in the nighttime. That means when do we start filling up the utensil to do the nisucha mayim? In the nighttime. And some sefarim actually have written in the Gemara, de amar mor uminchatam beniskehem balayla. So some people actually have those words written in the Gemara. Uminchatam beniskehem balayla, afilu balayla, de af al pi shemakrivin hakorbanot bayom, יכולים להביא המנחות ונסכים בלילה. which means they added on a little bit in the Gemara. I don't know if you realized, right? That means basically some people had in the Gemara, right? In our Gemara, it just says, right? The Amar Monu Michatam Niskehem, right? Balayla. We have a filu balayla.
We don't have balayla.
Which one? No, we have a filu balayla.
Yeah,
we have a filu balayla, but we don't have these words. Shemakrivina korbanot bayom yecholin laavia menachos balayla. Right? That means we don't have this part. This part Rashi was actually adding in that some Gemarot actually have it. That means it's explaining. Just like some korbanot, right? When you bring the korban during the day, you could bring the menachot and the nesachim, the meal offerings and the wine libations in the nighttime. So too, nisuch hamayim also yachol lenasech balayla. You could do nisuch in the nighttime. Okay? Af askara nami meorta. So to askara also, right? When you're mentioning it, you could also do it at nighttime. Meaning, if you're learning it from nisuch hamayim, so then you could also do it at nighttime. So you could say Mashiach Baruch Geshem already on the first night of Sukkot. So he says Shebelele Yom Tov Adishon, because on the night, on the leilot, on the nights of Yom Tov Adishon, Ka'amar Rabbi Eliezer said Shematchilin laskir gevurot keshamim, that we're going to start mentioning gevurot keshamim. Okay, so now Rabbi Avu came and he told us that Rabbi Eliezer learns it from lulav. And the question is, how does he know that? So the Gemara gave two answers. Which means that he had a tradition, a masoret, right? A masoret, a tradition. Or he learned it from a braita. So the Gemara says, Gemara Gemirale. Rabbi Avu, so that means Rabbi Avu had a masoret, he had a tradition. That Rabbi Eliezer lo limda ele lulav. That Rabbi Eliezer only learned it from lulav. Or the second opinion, matnitin shmiale. He learned it from a braita, right? He heard a braita. The Rabbi Eliezer gamami lulav. The Rabbi Eliezer learned it from the lulav. Mishata nachato, right? What was it? So there in the Braita Mefurash, it was written that Rabbi Eliezer learned it from the Mishat Netilat Lulav, from taking the lulav, and the Rabbi Yoshua learned it from Mishata nachato, from when you place it down. Miyom shemevarchin bo ba'acharona, from the day that they're going to make the last blessing on it, tehainu b'shvi'i, which is going to be the seventh day. Okay, the seventh day. So now he comes and he says, yeah, arba minim alalu, these four species, shebelulav ve'etrog, of the lulav and etrog. Okay? So he comes and he says, kach geshamim, yehem maskir kol hashana, afilu bimot hachama, im hu rotze yehem maskir. This is the shita of Rabbi Eliezer, that according to Rabbi Eliezer, just like techiyat hametim, you're allowed to say all year round. So to here, you're allowed to do this all year round. You can mention geshamim all year round. So he says, Yehem maskir kol hashana, you can mention it all year. Afilu bimot hachama, even during the summer. Im hu rotze, if he wants, yehem maskir, he can mention it. So says the Gemara, who was the one that argued on this? That he said, no, I argue. This was that he said, Mishash, the second that he made a pasek to ask, he has to make a pasek to mention it. Who was the one that said that? That was Rabbi. Who was it? It was right after the Braita. Rabbi Omer. Rabbi Omer, right? He comes and he says, right? Omer ani, nisha sheposek milishol, shebepesach posek milomar veten talmatar. From Pesach, once he stops saying veten talmatar, posek milaskir gevurot geshamim. He's not going to mention gevurot geshamim. Vehashta, and now, lo matzit lemeimar, you can't say imba leaskir kol hashana kula. If you want to mention the entire year, maskir, you could mention it. Ela bimot hachama, but in the summertime, eno maskir, you don't mention it. Hoel ve'en zmano, since it's not its time. Af bechag, so too in the chag, eno maskir, you're not going to mention it. Hoel, since velo siman bracha, it's not a siman bracha. Okay, then we said the Acharon. You remember who was the Acharon in the Mishnah?
Acharon is Rabbi Yoshua.
No, what was the Acharon? No. The Acharon of on Yom Tov, Acharon Shel Chag. So who's going to mention it? The Acharon Maskir, Rishon Maskir. Who's the Acharon? Hamid Palel Tfilat Musaf. Musaf. The Rishon and Acharon here was Musaf. No, Acharon is Acharon of the dates. Acharon of the Tfilot. Which one? Acharon is Musaf. Acharon is Musaf. Remember, there's a Rishon and Acharon.
מה השאלה? מי אומר את זה?
No, מי אומר את זה. What is Acharon?
האחרון,
מוסף.
בפסח.
No,
לא,
Musaf.
מוסף, סוכות.
Shachrit is Rishon.
שחרית
and
פסח.
Musaf.
שחרית פסח.
ביום טוב חג שני, לא?
ביום האחרון של פסח.
ביום האחרון של פסח.
אחרון מזכיר. What's אחרון? What's אחרון? Musaf.
כן, מזכיר.
Okay. So this says. של, what did I say? פסח, sorry, סוכות.
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 בשער שני.
Yeah, סוכות.
יום שני.
Yeah. So he comes and he says, המתפלל תפילת מוסף, המתפלל תפילת מוסף, right, is, מוסף is האחרון. Who's ראשון? תפילת יוצר, זה שחרית. Okay? אינו מזכיר.
האחרון.
אינו מזכיר, you're not going to mention it. אינו מזכיר, he says, ושוב הם מזכירים, and we're not going to mention it again. So Shapir kama le Rabbi Eliezer le Yeshua. Rabbi Eliezer was right what he told Rabbi Yeshua. He was right. What Rabbi Eliezer told Rabbi Yeshua, he was right, he was correct. So he says, the Amar, that he said, Ki eichi de maskirinan techiyat hametim kol hashana, just like we mentioned techiyat hametim the entire year, ve'af agav de lo mata zimnayu, even though it didn't get its time, kach maskirin gevurot geshamim, so we're going to mention gevurot geshamim, im rotze kol hashana, if you want the entire year. ובחג נמי, and also on the חג, אף אגב דלא סימן מלאכה, and even though it's not a סימן מלאכה, מזכירים, and we're going to mention it, הואיל ואין שואלים, since we're not going to ask for it. Okay? So we said what? כל אימת דעתיין זימנאי, what? Every time that it comes, it's a good time? Meaning every time that it rains, it's a good thing? וכיוון דלאו זימנאי, since it's not its proper time, אין מזכירים, we're not going to mention it, ועודים בחג, סימן אחד אחד. Fine. We said on the second day, בשני, ונזכיהם. תסגי בנזכה. It could have just said v'niska. The kevan division, and since on the second day, ayater mem, there's an extra mem. Ayater is yeter, yoter, extra. There's an extra mem, lidrasha, for a drasha, for to expound upon. That's why we're going to mention it on the second day. This is Rabbi Akiva. He says we're talking about two different nisuchim. Shne nisuchim al korban echad. Two nisuchim on one korban. Aval v'niskehem, mashma harbe. It's mashma that there's a lot of korbanot. Teve korbanot harbe. Lachen havadari shabikiva b'miniskehem. By the way, this answers up. This answered up John Paul's question. John Paul asked, one second, why didn't you learn also from b'niskehem that it's plural? Rashi just answered you that answer. Yeah? Rashi just said, by the unsacheha, we're talking about the two nisuchim on the same korban. By v'niskehem, it's mashma, there's a lot of korbanot. So therefore, there are many korbanot. It's not 2 on 1. So for here, we're talking about 2 for 1. And therefore, the Rabbi Kiva said they didn't learn it from Rabbi Niskem. Savala Rabbi Yehuda, he holds like Rabbi Yehuda. The mem yod mem marbe nisuch hamayim. The mem yod mem is adding on nisuch hamayim. And we're going to stop over here. We continue Rashi's the next time. Bezrat Hashem.